What's good, Athletes and Cannabis family? Gerald Moore Jr., founder of Athletes and Cannabis, here with another update, some news coming out of the NFL. Former Pittsburgh Steeler Le'Veon Bell comes out on a podcast, the Steel Here podcast, and confesses to consuming marijuana, cannabis, weed before playing in games. Uh, oh my God, the world goes crazy. Can you believe it? And it kind of makes sense, when you think about his game, you know what I mean? Like he's a very patient runner. He's a big running back as well, when you think about size, but very patient behind the line of scrimmage, waiting for holes to open up. But he comes out and talks about his cannabis consumption before games. And I mean, any athlete, I played sports at a very high level. I was a Division I athlete, tried out for the NFL. So I know guys in college, I know a lot of my teammates consumed. I know a lot of guys that played at the next level, at the NFL level, consumed. I have friends that ended up making it. I got to a tryout, so I know. And so a lot of the average people don't really realize the lifestyle of an athlete, or they don't really understand like the wear and tear on the body and why cannabis helps athletes, and why athletes are consuming it at such a high rate. But what you think about football, it's a gladiator sport, very violent sport. It's a very tough on the body. So joints, aches, pains, strains, sprained ligaments, bruises and bumps and things like that, plus your training, lifting heavy weights and stuff like that. So cannabis really helps. It also helps athletes come down. Yeah, you can only imagine like the amount of adrenaline that's running when you're playing a game, 11 on 11, and then you got 60,000 people in the stands, and then you got millions of people watching. And then guess what? 2 hours after the game, you're at home and you're trying to go to sleep because you got to rest and get up and take care of your family. So cannabis can be one of those things that really help, athletes calm their minds down, get some rest. It helps with appetite as well. So I'm going to share this video. It's also on our YouTube page. So definitely like the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, show some love. I'm going to start doing more content here. I've been slacking on the content, but I want to thank everybody who has subscribed to the channel thus far. I want to thank everybody who's watched the video, who's tuned in to us, whether on LinkedIn, Instagram, or Facebook, Twitter. We're on Twitter too. But yeah, thank you. Athletes, Cannabis, Media 9359 is the is the YouTube. So I'm gonna play this video.
But it was like, I feel like it was I got a misconception about me with the whole weed thing, because like, regardless, yeah, I was wrong just because, man, like I shouldn't have smoked in the car, regardless, like, but like looking back on this, like, bro, like that's what I did, like, when I was playing football, I smoked, bro, like I was, even before the games, I smoked, I'll go out there and run for 150, 2 tubs
in the NFL.
Yeah.
See, Jerry, what's interesting is, Jerry, is like he's not alone in that though. Like I've come to find out in some conversations, a lot of dudes smoke dope, man. A lot of dudes smoke weed before the game and shit.
Yeah, because like you get that one drug test,
you're good.
And, yeah, you're good, and all year round. It's like, so it was with me. It was never me failing drug tests. It was that incident happened that I got caught. Unbelievable fire.
Yeah, so and like from there, it don't even seem like he got drug tested, because I don't remember him ever getting in trouble for weed. But so basically, he got caught up. He smoked before a game. I think he ended up getting pulled over or something, and the cops smelled weed. But like they said, a lot of people in the NFL, a lot of people professionally smoke, even outside of sports. You got entertainers, you got obviously rappers, you got singers that consume, you got executives. I know lawyers, I know politicians, I know doctors, I know people that work for the government. I know entrepreneurs, I know creatives. There's a lot of people that consume. And so I think, obviously the stigma around cannabis The ideology that, oh, you're lazy if you consume cannabis, or you're a thug, or you're going to steal, or you're going to try harder drugs. From what I've experienced personally, from my friends' experiences, I've never seen it. And it's been something that has really helped me throughout my journey as an athlete, dealing with pain, dealing with injuries. I have a healthcare administration degree, so I studied healthcare, worked in a dermatology office, worked in a medical setting for years. And then being an athlete, you're getting worked on all the time. You have trainers, you have doctors, you have therapists, you have, all these different people. So you get used to understanding your body, understanding what works well for your body, and also trying to take the best care of your body to perform at the highest level. Like, as an athlete, you want to do everything you can to be able to perform at the highest level, all puns intended. So besides doing steroids, right? So most athletes, most competitors, especially in a sport like football, you're not going to really take steroid, right? You take steroids if like you get sick, or there's a reason for it. But when it comes to natural, most athletes want to eat clean. A lot of athletes still partake in alcohol, but you got to get away from that every now and again. Sorry about that. And so, cannabis really helps the mind, body, and spirit, especially in a sport like football. That's super damaging to the body, the mind. It's such a violent thing, but it's also an ego thing. It's crazy. It's a societal thing. Like, we love the violence of it. And these athletes have to do something to maintain sanity. You know what I mean? Like, you can't go out there and say somebody's not crazy on the field that, literally bashes their head in. Then they get outside the lines and they can't act irrational, or they can't be, aggressive, and cannabis helps with all of that. So I think it's great hearing more athletes come out about it. Hopefully these laws continue to pass. Hopefully states continue to pass legalization. And hopefully more athletes continue to use their platforms. I think right now we're in a position where we need a lot more athletes to get more involved in the political landscape and how they're using their money to leverage things that they believe in. So if you're a cannabis consumer, you should be trying to fund people who politicians that are, pro cannabis. You know what I mean? Like, our athletes need to start thinking on that level. Okay, it's dope that you're investing in tech. It's dope that you're investing in pickleball leagues. It's dope that you're investing in, yourself and your family and all these other things. But when you think about cannabis, if you're consuming it, why wouldn't you invest in it? Why wouldn't you be more involved in the political landscape that has something to do with your taxes? Our athletes have so much power and influence. And that's really why we wanted to create this channel, is because athletes have so much power and influence. And I don't think a lot of times we realize it because we're so young when we get power and influence. And a lot of times nobody ever teaches us what to do with that power or influence, or that we even have it, or what that power and influence really means, or how to really use our voice to create change. Not just use our money, but use our voices, use our platforms, use our intellect, use our wisdom, use our exposure, because a lot of times as pro athletes, college athletes, we've been exposed to way more life than a lot of other people in our communities, because we've traveled, we've been to different states, we've been to different countries, we see how different communities are living. And so it's up to us to be the leaders and the mouthpiece to those who are unheard, to those who are underserved, to those communities who have been disproportionately impacted by the war on drugs. And so these are one of the reasons, major reasons why I started this platform. I didn't really know what I was doing. I just knew that cannabis was legalizing. I saw the route that things were going. I know I had been consuming. I had been in the closet as a cannabis consumer since I was 16, 17 years old. And I heard that you hear the whispers, you hear the loud conversations about how people talk about, weed smokers or pot smokers or weed heads. And so a lot of times I stay quiet, you know what I mean? Because it's like, I'm not going to really fight these people, like especially on weed. Like I'm just chill, you know what I mean? Like they'll see eventually. Um, and so yeah, I'm just glad that see things are coming around. But definitely check out that whole podcast. I thought it was a great episode. Um, and let us know in the comments what you think about cannabis, athletes and cannabis. Let us know. Let us know also if you're an athlete that consumes cannabis. You don't have to just be a professional athlete. We love our everyday athletes around here. So if you're an athlete, if you run, if you lift, if you do yoga and medicate, if you do jujitsu, if you do boxing, if you do rowing, if you do swimming, let us know what your sport is and what you do in the comments. Again, thank you guys for the support. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, also comment, let us know what you do. Again, I'm Gerald Moore Jr. Peace out.